Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to One Wrestling official video live here on the WWE Battleground 2016 results and review. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, L-I-V-E, live with you here right now on the One Wrestling Video YouTube channel for the second time in the week. Holy cow, I can't believe it was so nice we did it twice. If you guys haven't watched the WWE draft video, I suggest you guys go back and check it out. It has over 69,000 views thanks to you guys, so we much appreciate you guys. Anyway, we thank you guys for tuning in wherever you may be seeing us, whether it's here over at OneWrestling.com or, of course, here on the One Wrestling Video YouTube channel. If you guys haven't done so already, you might as well hit that like and subscribe button while you're down there right now, and just help continue to support the entire One Wrestling crew. Myself, we've got Big Ray, we've got the Professor, we've got Billy Ray all here. We're going to talk everything that is WWE Battleground, results, review, crazy chaos, and everything in between, and possible ramifications for both Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown. First and foremost, before we get into this whole thing, I want to thank you guys for the massive amount of support. Surprisingly, this video got over 64 likes before we even went on the air. So kudos to every single one of you guys out there. And again, you can find myself on all our social media, including the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter at Apter1Wrestling. Follow us on Twitter, and all the other various social media links will be provided down in the description box below. So I'm going to give a quick round of a shout out to everybody sitting here. Of course, I can't do his entrance. But I got Big Ray here with us today. Mr. Ray, how you doing, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Mark of the Master, the Man with the Plan, Big Ray, here today to talk some WWE Battleground 2016 today. I am excited, brother, to get into this. Let's do it.
This is going to be some fun stuff. We've got Billy Ray, Obi-Wan, you know me. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, everybody? It's your neighborhood conspiracy theorist making America great again, one episode at a time. What's up, everybody? Peace.
What's going on? And, of course, how could we not have a hangout here with none other than the mind of the masses, the Professor. Professor, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I am the illustrious one, a.k.a. Mr. Wonderful, a.k.a. the king of the hoopla on the PW Hustle.
Mr. Wonderful. Man, I was going to copyright that. Shoot, there goes my t-shirt idea, just gone now. All right, guys, and of course, we encourage you guys to leave us your thoughts down in the comment section below here, or if you hear us with us live, make sure you hit up the live chat and let us know what you guys thought of Battleground and turning all the results, all the matches, and all the chaos and calamity that ensued. So first and foremost, I do want to talk about a little bit about the pre-show that kicked off between Breezango and the Usos. Now, personally, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Sometimes the pre-show matches are hit or miss. Sometimes you get fantastic matches, and sometimes there's others that, well, are kind of a miss. This one actually truly surprised me, especially with Breezango getting a clean victory over the Usos. I could see some potential future in them in the tag team division, but of course both of these tag teams are on SmackDown for Tuesday nights. So considering that we're still uncertain about the tag team titles or the tag team division in general for both Raw and SmackDown separately, it should be interesting to see what happens. I'm going to throw it over to the Professor first. Professor, did you get a chance to catch Breezango versus Usos?
Yes, I did. I saw the match. I'm not going to say I was surprised that Breezango won. I think that Breezango, after that horrible feud they had with the Golden Truth, I was not very happy with that. I did not know where WWE wanted to go with Breezango. I'm just happy that, they want to give them a chance. And like you said, a clean victory over the Usos. There was a little bit of sloppy stuff going on back and forth, but you know what? At the end, when Tyler Breeze won with putting the knees up on the attempted splash by the Usos and getting the small package win, I was very satisfied with it.
Amen to that. Big Ray,
Yo.
Breezango getting a win over the Usos. I mean, I consider this a major win. Where do you think this? I mean, is this a sign of more Breezango? I want to call him for Breeze, but I guess that's copyrighted. But I mean, is this good signs for Breezango to be a strong tag team for SmackDown?
I got to tell you, man, first and foremost, I love Breezango. I think Breezango's a really solid tag team. And, yes, it's a huge win. It's a huge win because they just beat probably the most dominant team in the last 5 years, WWE, former tag team, multi-time tag team champions. They beat them clean. They didn't cheat. I mean, of course, there was a little interference here and there, but other than that, they beat them clean, dude. And it was a really well done match. I really enjoyed every minute of the match. The pace was amazing. There was a lot of background noise. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if somebody has a fan or anything, guys. Shut it off. But it's really making a lot of noise. Anyway, I can't even think straight. But Breezango. Okay, now I'm back on track now. Now Breezango. Okay, so wow. You know what? Just move on.
All right.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Billy Ray,
Hey man, listen man, I thought it was a great match, man, and I'm very happy Breezango won. To be honest with you, I didn't see it coming. I thought the Usos were going to win because Breezango has, you know, they're two jobbers that were put together. But the last time, well, not the last time, but a long time ago, two jobbers were put together. They came up to be the New Age Outlaws, and they were one of the biggest tag teams ever. You know, so the same thing could happen with Breezango. You know, Tyler Breeze is the man. Anybody who watches NXT knows how good he is, and Fandango's not awful. You know, so he could play a good supporting role, and I like the whole, you know, Zoolander thing they got going on. So I'm glad they won. You know, the Usos are a little, you know, they're in a rut. You know what I mean? So I was happy to see Breezango win.
All right, really quick, can I jump in real quick? I want to
go for it. Right.
Yeah, so go for it. Here's the deal. With Breezango and Billy Ray Valentine, that was an excellent point where they got the two guys that weren't having great singles careers. I mean, Fandango was over for a little short time. But to see these two guys that are really, really excellent in the ring, I think Fandango is actually really good. And it's just the perfect mix of peanut butter and jelly between these two guys. So in the ring, like I said, watching this match, I was actually dissecting it as it went along. And I thought to myself, wow, these guys are really fluid. These guys are really good. They're entertaining. They're funny. They're fun. But I can take them, believe it or not, even though they have a weird gimmick, I can take them seriously or serious enough to actually see these guys win a tag team title down the line. So I see a lot of potential in the future of Breezango, believe it or not, in my opinion.
Yeah, this makes some excellent points. I mean, it's a huge win because Usos have been such an established team. But to Billy Ray's point, two random guys that were kind of strewn together as a tag team, but they're making it work. So I'm hoping to see, and again, a lot of still unknown questions in regards to the championships between both Raw and SmackDown. So hopefully we have some answers soon, and hopefully maybe see some Breezango tag team championships, baby. I just want to give a quick shout out to all you guys who are watching us again live right now. We just hit a little over 100 of you watching us live right now. 83 likes, and you guys have kicked our butts and subscribers, 17,390. So hopefully we can keep that rocket going. Hit the subscribe and like button if you guys are right here new to this channel for all the awesome content. Now, let's get into the actual main card for Battleground. Of course, the first matchup is the one that possibly got one of the biggest pops of the entire evening. Sasha Banks revealed her mystery partner to be none other than everyone's favorite NXT superstar, well, one of the NXT favorite superstar, Bayley. Bayley made her main roster debut, supposedly. We're not sure if it's a one-off yet or if she's actually debuted on the full main roster against the women's champion Charlotte and Dana. There's a lot of things about this matchup that I was kind of a little bit in shock of. First off, there was the actually Bayley coming out. We had heard rumors and speculations and ramblings of NXT of her getting called up from the draft. We heard that she might debut after SummerSlam. We heard this and that, all these different things about Bayley actually coming to the main roster. And for some, at least in some partial way, it was vilified or validity. I can't even talk the word. Figure the word I can think of.
Vilified.
Thank you, vilified. I couldn't think of the dang word. With her showing up at Battleground. However, there's still what I thought was the most interesting part of this whole thing was, of course, Sasha and Bayley getting the victory over Dana and Charlotte. But it was very interesting that Sasha made Charlotte tap. Normally in these circumstances, you usually see, in this case, Dana, who's not the focal point, be the one who usually takes the pinfall or the submission. But I think WWE made a clear statement. See what I did there? Okay, don't hate me that much. Statement on Sasha possibly feuding with Charlotte leading into SummerSlam. We're probably going to see Sasha challenge Charlotte for the Women's Championship. So that was a very interesting way to them to give that visual image to us at the end of the matchup. So I'm going to throw it over to Big Ray on this one first up. I mean, Sasha versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it should happen? And thoughts on Bayley's debut?
All right. First and foremost, Sasha for the Women's Championship. I think we've all been saying it's going to happen. If I'm correct, Billy Ray Valentine, me and you have spoke about this 1,000 times regarding the fact that it's going to happen in SummerSlam. Am I right, buddy?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to go down for sure.
All right. So that's number one. Number two, I had a feeling Bayley was coming out today, but it was really cool to see the fans just go absolutely bonkers. And, it really brings joy to my heart to see a young lady like Bayley who's really, like, basically paid her dues, man, for so many years. And she is, like, the queen of NXT. And to see her get that nice big spot so that she can come out and just receive all the love from the fans at that very moment, I think it was excellent, dude. I'm so happy to see Bayley come up. I think it's going to be a one-off. I think Bayley's going to actually wrestle maybe a little more, I think maybe about 2 or 3 more months at NXT, and then maybe perhaps we'll see her come up officially after SummerSlam. What do you guys think?
I'll throw it over
It's
to
a
Billy Ray.
possibility.
I mean, do you think it's a one-off, or do you think she's actually going to stay on the main roster? And would she be on Raw? That's another big question.
I don't think she's going to stay on the main roster right away. I think she's. I mean, I think that's the reason they didn't draft her. Or it could have been like, you know, a big surprise because when she came out, everybody went nuts, right? It was really awesome. And she has an awesome gimmick that's so relatable that people just dig. So I think she's definitely going to be on the main roster at some point. I mean, that goes without saying, but I think she's still got some unfinished business down at NXT. So I don't think it's a full transition over just yet.
All right, and Professor, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, I just wanted to reiterate because JBL said it on the commentary that his insider said that this was a one and only shot for Bayley, and then she's going to go back down to NXT. Whether we believe it or not, that's another statement. But he wanted to make that clear to everybody who was watching it on pay-per-view. This was a one-shot deal, so
Gotcha.
It might mean that she's going back down to NXT and having her feud with Asuka.
I couldn't remember if they actually mentioned something on commentary or whether or not they alluded to it. I would hope they would. But if you guys know, let me know in the comments. I couldn't really recall or hear anything specific. But, of course, Professor being Professor that he is, always keeping in touch and always keeping
And
your eye on
you know what, Fabe? You know what,
What's
Fabe?
up?
How many people are watching this? Like 100 people watching this right now?
I've
live?
got to clock in about like 102, 103 people watching right about now.
I want to give those 102 and 103 Slamites a big hug because that's what I want to, you know, I just want to give everybody a big hug for watching us live right now. Thank you very much. I
Yeah,
think
you
it's
guys
Bailey giving me that hugging feeling.
The Professor's a hugger.
Yes. Hug the life.
Well, you guys are killing it right now over, again, watching us live right now as we're going to talk all the Battleground results and reviews. And, guys, if you guys are new here, again, like and subscribe. All our social media links down in the description box below. We go on to the six-man tag, the Wyatt family versus the New Day. I thought this matchup was absolutely amazing. And I don't know why part of me doubted this matchup a little bit. Maybe it's because it seemed a little random. It seemed a little Yes, sir.
Sorry, real quick to interrupt. I think Bill Apter's in the chat, by the way. I think he's trying to signal us. I think he's in the chat room with the people.
Really?
No, is he really?
That's what it says. Unless somebody's fooling me. They
Well,
got the One Wrestling logo there.
we'll have to check that out in just a second. Let me just.
I'll work on that, Connor. Go ahead. You go.
All right. We'll get back to that. We'll check into that in just a second. But I did want to mention that this matchup, like I said, Wyatt family versus New Day, was just absolutely amazing. It was there was a couple of these matches here that were just absolutely just blew my mind. And not that I wasn't thinking it was going to be a horrible match per se, but didn't think it was going to be. There were some expectations that were definitely superseded, in my opinion. This definitely being one of them. I thought Woods was an amazing star in this one. I thought that just everybody was really on their A game. But I particularly love the ending. Although I was very concerned, I probably don't know if you guys saw that last ending spot where Big E did the suicide dive through the middle rope and just landed extremely awkwardly. To the best of my knowledge, I haven't heard no reports of injuries. So count your blessings that nothing bad happened.
Hey, Connor, Connor, really quickly, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but yes,
no
Bill Apter, it is actually Bill. He is officially in the chat room.
Fantastic!
That is cool.
Fantastic. Bill Apter, the legendary Bill Apter, is in the chat section right now with us live. Make sure you also give him some love over on Twitter at Apter1Wrestling, of course. Just to wrap up my quick thoughts, Woods getting pinned at the end with Bray Wyatt after getting broken up by Langston. I mean, I can't really say too much bad about this matchup. A little surprised that the Wyatts got the pinfall victory, considering once again that they are being split up. Strowman going to Raw, Bray and Eric going to SmackDown, but New Day staying intact. Throw it over to Billy Ray this time first. I mean, to me, Woods was a star in this matchup. I was very impressed by Xavier Woods. Not that I was never impressed, but just for some reason, this matchup to me, he truly shined out of the New Day, in my opinion.
Man, let me tell you something, Connor. Let me tell you something about this match, man. I saw my man Bray Wyatt go out there and put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that guy is so good, and I couldn't wait for the show because I wanted to tell everybody how good Bray Wyatt is. Not that they don't know how good he is, but they're really wasting it if they don't give this dude some type of title run and a long one. I mean, he's just so good. His facials, his in-ring, his aggressiveness, and the whole deal with Xavier Woods was awesome because Xavier Woods, he was going to go to the dark side there for a second, and he fought him off, but then, Sister Abigail, and it was a wrap. I think the star of this was Bray Wyatt, and I think there's so much money in Bray Wyatt. First off, this match was phenomenal. Yes. And Big E almost broke his neck. That was crazy.
That scared me.
Everybody went in. Everybody looked so good in this match. Even Braun Strowman looked like he improved a little bit. Like he looked he looked tighter, in sync a little bit more. So I really dug the match. Kofi Kingston always goes to work, and like you said, Xavier Woods went to work here, and he was the supporting star. He was a supporting actor to Bray Wyatt, in my opinion. Bray Wyatt is the man, and they need to look his way very quickly.
Well, it was very impressive. I mean, Bray always impressed me, but kudos. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what he does over on the Blue Brand SmackDown, which yours truly will be reporting later on this Tuesday. I had to cheap plug. I had to. It was just inevitable. Professor, Wyatt's New Day. Who came out on top of this one? I thought it was New Day, or Xavier Woods personally. Billy Ray made an excellent point with Bray. I mean, who was the MVP in this matchup for you?
You know what? I'm going to reiterate Billy Ray's point. I think Bray Wyatt, with the brand split, is going to do big things on the SmackDown brand. He's going to be a main event player on the SmackDown brand. And this was a coming out party for Bray Wyatt to showcase his talents. But this whole storyline was, to me, about Xavier Woods overcoming his fears. You know, from weeks ago, the fears of Bray Wyatt, the fears of the compound match or final deletion, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, Xavier Woods was the MVP, showcasing, overcoming his fears, showcasing his talents, and, coming up short. It didn't make sense to me why the Wyatts won, but you know what? That's a great way to, to end the Wyatt family in a sense, give them the win.
Right. No, that's a good point. Big Ray here to stay. Good sir. Wyatt's New Day. I mean, to me, this is a win all around. I mean, what do you think?
Well, first and foremost, the reason why I picked the Wyatts originally before this match is because
you had to gloat, right? You had to throw that in there, right?
Well, I'm just saying.
You had to throw that in there, right?
I mean, I gained
the Wyatts. This dude all night on his phone. Hey, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Like he wouldn't let you forget.
Oh no, absolutely not. And I did not get one match wrong, to be honest with you.
You did the Miz.
Oh, you know what? I got the
Everybody
main
got
event
that wrong.
I got the main event wrong. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But now we're talking about this match that I got absolutely right.
Yes.
And the reason why I got this match absolutely right, and the reason this match absolutely right is just because, well, it's basically because of what Billy Ray said. It was the Bray Wyatt effect on this match. Bray Wyatt was absolutely the man. But I think also Xavier Woods was phenomenal in this match. There was so much storytelling during this match. Like you said, Billy Ray Valentine, the facials, the expressions, the fact that Xavier Woods goes down to one knee and almost gives into the dark side, but then comes back and just starts flailing punches at Bray Wyatt. It was awesome. And I'm gonna tell you this: when I saw Big E do that suicide, they're gonna have to stop him from doing that move. It is so dangerous for a guy that size to go through the ropes, and he literally landed on his neck and back. That's a lot of weight, man. I got really scared for him. But it's funny that Billy Ray Valentine mentioned that thing about Braun Strowman. Again, you're right on point, Billy Ray Valentine, with that. Braun Strowman did look a little crisper, a little cleaner in the ring, a little more sure of himself. I mean, there were so many positives. And for me, even though there were maybe other matches that were better, for me, this was my favorite match of the night. Enjoyed it, loved it. I thought the outcome was good, and it gave me an extra point for the After Cup. So
of course, couldn't let that one go, could you?
No.
Of course not. We're gonna hear this for every single match, I'm sure. But we want to hear what you guys think as well.
Matchup, baby.
Of course. We want to hear you guys' thoughts as well, too. Again, we encourage you guys to join us in the live chat right now. Or, of course, if you guys are watching this or listening to this on the playback, leave a comment down below and let us know your thoughts about WWE Battleground 2016. Of course, if you guys are new here, subscribe and like and share, all that fun stuff. Twitter and social media, all links in the description box below. United States Championship time. Rusev Machka, sorry, Team Ruru. I got to keep calling him Team Ruru on this one. Rusev defending against Zack Ryder. This matchup, to me, I thought for a split second he was going to break out of Rusev's submission hold. I did for a split moment because he held the submission move for just a little longer. They panned back. They kind of manipulated it and presented it in a way where I thought for a moment that Zack Ryder was actually going to win. I thought Zack Ryder did a very decent performance and great action against Rusev, but of course Rusev Machka still retains the United States Championship, going to put more damage on Zack Ryder, only to have Mojo Rawley Yes, Mojo Rawley, the Hype Bros reunited to help him save himself from Ruru. I'm not sure exactly where they're going to be going with this one, only because, of course, again, there's a lot of draft discussion and ramifications going into and coming out of this pay-per-view. Again, Rusev going to Raw and keeping the United States Championship, while Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley head over to SmackDown. So I'm not really sure if they're going to continue with this. I don't know how they would or we'd be able to. But it's very interesting to me. Professor, I'm going to throw it over to you, and this time, I mean, it looks like we're going to get a reuniting of the Hype Bros. Am I wrong on this one, or do you think that maybe there might be one last championship shot? I mean, we're still uncertain with all these championships, but anything to take away from Rusev versus Ryder tonight?
Well, the first thing, Connor, you got to remember Zack Ryder's attire, wearing the red, white, and blue everywhere.
Yes.
In honor of Sting, in honor of what was it? JBL said he wore the red, white, and blue. I don't even remember that, or Kurt Angle, but he had the red, white, and blue on, representing the United States of America, or the Woo-United States of America, as I like to say.
Nice.
But
Okay, that's a good one.
But like you said, we don't know the ramifications about this because they're both on different brands. So you know what? Let the Hype Bros do their thing in the tag team division. But I think this story came to a screeching halt, and Zack Ryder's push came to a screeching halt too. I'm sorry to say.
All right, I'm going to throw it over to Big Ray this time. Ray, any major takeaways from this? I mean, again, a lot of uncertainty because of the split, titles going in. Basically, these opponents are going completely different directions. But anything you take away from this U.S. title match here tonight at Battleground?
Absolutely. Apparently, Rusev, and it's Rusev Putria, Rusev Machka. But anyway, apparently Rusev is like a bear. What do you mean, a bear? Well, basically, all you have to do is run into the ring and scream at him and yell at him and make loud noises and make yourself look real big. Rah! And apparently that will make him go away. I thought that was the most asinine thing I've ever seen. You've seen Mojo Rawley come to the ring, which is pretty cool, I guess. And yes, by the way, Zack Ryder, his push is done. They will be a tag team. They won't be a successful tag team. I'm not a fan of Mojo Rawley. I don't like his gimmick. I don't like him in the ring. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. Zack Ryder.
You ain't hype.
No, seriously. I'm not hype. I'm not hype. But Zack Ryder, on the other hand, I actually like the guy. I actually think that they underutilized him over the last couple of years, and I thought they should have gave him a title push, Intercontinental title, U.S. title. I mean, and I don't think he'll ever be in a world title picture, but it is what it is. So, I don't know why they had Mojo Rawley come out and just scream at Rusev, and I have no idea why Rusev didn't just kick him in the mouth. It was just me. Other than that, this match was really good. It was Zack Ryder looks strong for Zack Ryder. Does that make any sense, guys?
Yes. Yes.
He looked really strong for Zack Ryder, and it just really it kind of, again, it reinforces the fact that I think Zack Ryder may just need to be a singles competitor. I don't know why WWE lost faith in the guy. I think he's phenomenal, but that's what I took away from it.
All right, fair enough. Billy Ray, I'm going to throw it back over to you. I mean, we're going to see the Hype Bros. I mean, it seems like pretty universal that everyone thinks Zack Ryder's singles career might be taking a turn to the tag team scene. But any follow-up with this? Do you think there will be another U.S. title match? I mean, it seems pretty doubtful considering Rusev's going back home to Raw.
Are we going to see the Hype Bros? I do not know. I do not care. Delete. All right. Now, then this guy comes out to the ring acting like it's the 4th of July and it didn't pass four weeks ago or however long it was. He completely forgot what time it was. I mean, he comes out draped in the American flag. I mean, I kind of get it. You get the people behind you, but I wasn't quite feeling that. Lana, on the other hand, was gorgeous as usual, and she stated to everybody that Rusev was the only man that could have her. Now, freaking Mojo Rawley comes down to the ring and starts screaming at Rusev. He's like, shoo, bear, shoo, go, go. And Rusev does. He takes off and he goes. That was quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I think WWE writers in the back don't like Mojo Rawley and sent them out there and told them, do this. Just run out there, act like you failed a drug test, and lose your mind in front of him. And don't ever touch him. Just scream at him, and let's see what happens. So now we have the blueprint. Now we have the blueprint of beating Rusev. Just yell at him for a little while. Hurt his feelings. He'll walk out of the ring and leave.
Well, it's an interesting theory that you guys have about Rusev being a bear. So, I mean, with Mojo coming out, I mean, it sounds like you guys could couldn't bear it anymore.
Oh God.
I have horrible puns.
Hey, Connor, really quickly, a note from Bill Apter on in the chat room. Again, we have Bill Apter live in the chat room. Bill Apter, basically, let me see what it says here. It says Rusev would have been an amazing opponent for a guy like Bruno Sammartino back in the day.
Yes.
Hogan. I think he's on point with that, man.
Rusev versus Bobby Lashley would be amazing. I'm sorry, Connor.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I could definitely see him be, and I'm not saying this in a negative sense, a cookie cutter opponent for Hulk Hogan. I could definitely see that absolutely clear as day, and actually to an extent Bruno too. So good points for Mr. Bill Apter. Of course, you can follow him over at Twitter once again at Apter1 Wrestling. You guys are killing it right now. 132 of you are watching us live right now as we're talking everything WWE Battleground 2016 related. We appreciate the love and support again. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. We appreciate all our links for all our social media down in the description box below. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the final chapter. I mean, we shouldn't really be that surprised, should we, guys, that these guys went out there and absolutely killed each other. The emotion, the psychology, the spots, the bumps, the brutality, the intrigue, just the intensity, the living, like sitting on the edge of your seat. Everything about this matchup was exactly what, and I'm not, this is kind of a way to say it, what the internet was hyping it to be. The matchup really didn't need too much hype behind it because the long-term stemming rivalry, the friendship finally battling at arms, everything is right there for you. I mean, it was I really can't say anything. This matchup was just absolutely amazing. A lot of people, and I'm pretty much going to go out there and say it was the match of the night. That's a hard thing to say, considering there were a couple of very good candidates for match of the night, but this one, I think, and I agree with the majority here, was definitely the match of the evening. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Zayn getting the victory over Owens. But to me, there's still a lot of little questions left unanswered, again, particularly revolving around the fact that both of them are still on Raw. And if both of them are still on Raw, can this really be the final one? Owens has gotten so many victories over Zayn in little different ways. True, Zayn has cost him championships and other things here and there and costing him, but he never really got a victory until tonight. So I'm theorizing, I'm going to throw it out there, that even though this is advertised as the final match or final confrontation, I suspect we might see them go one more time at SummerSlam at some sort of crazy stipulation. Again, considering they're both on Raw. Billy Ray, I don't know what else to say about this match, man. This was just, I mean, jaw-dropping, exciting action. I mean, would you say match of the night for you?
Yeah, match of the night. I mean, anybody who follows professional wrestling has seen these two fight each other in the past in Ring of Honor and everywhere else, right. And they always put on phenomenal matches, and you don't think they're gonna top each other, and then they do. It was an amazing match. I need your help, and maybe in the comment section somebody can tell me, did Sami Zayn really get hurt? It looked like he really did get hurt. I think he botched a move, but I don't know if he was just selling really, really well because he's capable of that, or I don't know if he was actually hurt. His arm, he kept shaking it off and shaking it off. So somebody please enlighten me on that. But as far as the match goes, I thought it was amazing. But what does piss me off about this match and this feud is that it could have been so much more important than what it is. It's just just two guys that don't like each other, and the story's there. You know, they could have made this into another Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, into another Macho Man, Hulk Hogan type feud. You know, but instead they relegated to it's a mid-card feud, and sure, it stole the show. Right. There's no importance to it as far as a title. Like, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, they don't need a title, but the title needs them. If the IC title were contested in that manner, it would rise that title to a different level. You know, and they could have, instead of in addition to them hating each other, they could have been feuding for a title, you know, and that's what upsets me about the feud. It could have been a lot more than what they made it. And will they go back to it? Definitely. Remember John Cena and The Rock? That was a one-time only thing. It comes back. Everything comes back. They'll do it.
Of course. Professor, I'm going to throw it your way. I mean, to Billy Ray's point, that he does make an interesting point. The matchup itself was amazing. Did it need a championship? I mean, to some extent, I don't think it did, but I think Billy Ray did make an interesting point. Should there be a championship on the line, and do you think this is the last time we're going to see them?
I don't think it's going to be the last time you're going to see them against each other, considering the fact they're both on Raw. And to Billy Ray's point, I mean, the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title would have been elevated like 10 times over if these two were fighting for it. That's a guarantee. Right. And you know what? In the pre-show, Cesaro said this was going to be the match of the night, bar none, in his frustrated state. He already said this. So, you know, he predicted it. It was a foregone conclusion. And to Billy Ray, I think that botch move, I think he kind of like bruised his wrist. If you saw, he kept like going with his wrist. So I think it was just a bruised wrist. It wasn't. I was looking at it to see if it was broken, but it wasn't broken. I think it was probably just a bad bruise. But he landed wrong on that right arm a little bit. But you know what? I think like next, if they're gonna do SummerSlam, it has to be loser leaves the brand. That's the only thing you can top it.
Excellent idea.
You know what? I'm not trying to challenge you, Professor, because challenging you is a dangerous thing. I've come to understand that loud and clear. But I did I did consider that. I did consider that and say, what if they did loser leaves the brand? The only problem with this, and this is the only issue I have with this, it makes SmackDown look instantly inferior.
I think they did a good job at making it look instantly inferior during the draft, but that's just me.
Ooh. Well, I'll throw it over to Big Ray on this one to wrap this subject up. I mean, Owens Zayn, holy cow! It looks like across the board, we don't think this is the last time we're going to see these guys fight.
I don't think. No, here's the deal. I think they're going to move on from this feud, but it's not going to be the last time you see them fight. Now, with this match, what a match, man! What was the spot? There was a spot where Sami Zayn did a suplex on the apron of the ring on Kevin Owens. Did you guys feel that? Did you guys feel that? I felt that. That is, I mean, I always like to explain to the fans that is the outside of the ring. That is the frame, the steel frame area of the ring. That is where that is the hardest part. They're not joking. It's like getting a suplex on a cement floor, probably even worse. So, I mean, to have him take bumps like that, I love, dude. Again, I'm a big storyteller guy. I love matches that just tell stories within the match, and just it's like Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair, the best 2 out of 3 falls in New Orleans. I don't know if you guys have seen that match.
Yes.
Amazing storytelling, guys. And this is back in the Bill Apter days, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen. This match did what it had to do, and I agree with you, Billy Ray Valentine. It would be great if this was for an Intercontinental title, a U.S. title, screw it, a European title, any type of title. But I guess what it was for internal bragging rights between the two friends, and I'm just the two former friends, and I just think that it was a good way of finally ending this. I mean, let's be real. Kevin Owens has been getting the upper hand on Sami Zayn for quite some time. And it was great to see Sami Zayn just hit him with that Kalua kick and just finally just pin him for the 1, 2, 3. I picked Kevin Owens, but I was happy and satisfied to see Sami Zayn win that match. And you know, and Professor, the whole thing of loser leave the brand, I think it works. I think it's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you know, it'd be funny if they did. Loser leave the WWE and go back to NXT. That would be funny. And he could do it. Whoever loses would go down to NXT for about 6 months and help rebrand that brand, if that makes any sense.
But that story from back in the 80s.
I kind of like that one better, actually. I'll be completely honest. I like that one idea better. But yeah, I think across the board we can pretty much all agree that Owens Zayn, hands down match of the night as far as we're concerned. And we definitely think we may see these guys again battle in the very near future. Again, we want to hear your thoughts live with us in the chat right now. Of course, if you guys are watching the playback of this, down in the comment section below. We had the SmackDown women go one-on-one as Natalya took on Becky Lynch. I felt very bad for this matchup, and the only reason there's a couple reasons I felt bad about this matchup. The first and foremost is the fact that they had to top Owens and Zayn. That crowd was burnt after that matchup, and how could you blame them after everything we just discussed, everything we just said in regards to Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn? So they had a tough act to follow. Natalya getting the win over Becky, which I thought was kind of surprising, to be completely honest with you, but it does help continue the feud to see how things going on SmackDown anyway when it comes to the women's division. But I felt like there wasn't really a whole lot of build in this matchup, so it was very hard for me to get invested with this one, just from, again, building and, again, like we were mentioning earlier, a storytelling perspective. So I think a combination of those two factors really disheartened this match for me in some way, and again, it was not their fault. It was just because of the circumstances I think that they were placed in. So, Ray, I'll throw it over to you this time first. I mean, I felt bad. Like I said, how can you follow Owens and Zayn? It's a tough one.
Well, here's the thing. It's. I mean, you always have to have that buffer in between, you know, two great matches, and
right.
Unfortunately, this was the buffer. But I'm gonna actually kind of tout the fact that I also picked Natty to win this match. Billy Ray laughs, and I'm sure everybody scoffed at me and said, "How can Natalya win this match?" Let me tell you how. All right, it's about time the WWE gave this young lady a run. It's about time the WWE gave Natalya Neidhart her just due.
Amen to that.
But you know what? She's earned it, dude. Now look, Becky Lynch is phenomenal. Listen, let me be honest with you. Becky Lynch is one fine hottie, but she's also amazing in the ring, and so is Natalya. This was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Very smooth, very fluent, and I got to be honest with you, the entire pay-per-view itself I thought was very, very good. I really enjoyed the entire pay-per-view from top to bottom, from bottom to top. I have no complaints about the pay-per-view at all. Nothing whatsoever. Maybe one or two little small minor things, but this match was absolutely definitely not one of them. It did what it had to do, because I believe that if they're going to go, now listen to me really clearly, if SmackDown is going to have a women's version of the WWE Women's Championship, I believe Natty is a SmackDown person, isn't she?
Yes. Yeah, both Natty and Becky are both on SmackDown.
Well, then why wouldn't you have those two feud for that Divas? Oh God, I hope they don't bring back the Divas title. Oh God, no. Hold on, hold on.
Flashback
Hold
Friday
on.
here.
All right, I'm gonna finish. I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. I hope they bring back a woman's title. Maybe they bring back the version that they had back in the 2000s. You know, the one that Lita and Trish Stratus and all those great women that back in the day won Jazz. And anyway, that's my thought process behind this match. I think they put Natty over.
Do you want me to help you out, Ray?
What's up, buddy?
If SmackDown has a women's title, they'll just call it the ladies' title. That's all.
Don't you
okay.
dare.
The ladies' championship. It's okay. All right, go ahead, Ray.
Don't you dare.
Didn't they used to call it the ladies' championship back before? Back when it was a gimmicky...
They never called it the ladies' title. What are you talking about?
Not in WWF. I mean in other promotions. I've seen them advertise it as a ladies' championship. I just don't remember the exact... I'm not saying this is way back before it really became, obviously, the women's revolution, but I'm pretty sure they were advertised as ladies' championship somewhere in wrestling.
I don't think it was ever a ladies' championship. And trust me, if it has anything to do with the ladies, Big Ray knows.
I'm just
why do you guys always laugh
I'm just opening up more and more cans of worms. So with that being said, I'm going to end on a high note.
I forgot we're live.
I'm going to end on a high note and throw it back over to the professor. Professor, Natalya and Becky, cusp of maybe a women's division on SmackDown?
Well, these are the two figureheads for the SmackDown women's brand of the women's division. When you also have Carmella and who's the other one? Alexa Bliss. So you have four there. That will be like the four horsewomen of the SmackDown brand, but that's an overstatement on my part.
Right.
But as far as this match goes, you're right, Connor. This is a buffer match, and you was politically correct saying it was a surprising ending that Natty won. I'm gonna say it the honest way. It was a stupid way for Natty to get the win. I think you have to put Becky Lynch over. She needs to get the rub. She needs to get the win. She needs to get more wins under her belt, and she hasn't. I'm counting on my hands how many times she's won. It almost is like 3 to me. I don't know. Just doesn't seem fair.
I get your point to that. I think, I do understand that a lot of people are like, Becky should have gotten the win here, and to some extent I do.
No.
I think that eventually she'll get the win down the road if they make this feud continue, because you always have to start off. Well, at least I shouldn't say always, but most of the time you have to start with the heel getting the major win and then the babyface chasing after it. At least that's what I've seen from history's pence. But Billy Ray, Natalya, Becky, long-term feud, short-term feud, overall thoughts on the match?
I do not know.
Oh,
Do not say.
You're an idiot.
Listen,
Matt.
doing this back and forth now?
just for the ones I don't care about. Yeah, Becky Lynch should have won. She should have won this match. Don't know why she lost. And you know, they died a slow death trying to follow up Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Not a good look for them.
It's tough.
So yeah, it's too tough. But yeah, Becky Lynch should have won. I don't know why they haven't given her a win. And they shouldn't be splitting these. They shouldn't have split the division. They should have kept the women's division on one brand. So if it was going to be SmackDown, SmackDown, or Raw. Since Raw got the cruiserweights, SmackDown should have gotten the women's division.
Well, it's still a little early. I mean, like I said, not every question was answered here tonight at Battleground, so there's still a lot of unknown certainties, most of it revolving around the championship. So hopefully next week on both Raw and SmackDown respectively, we can maybe find out some more answers about that.
Hey, Connor.
Yes, sir, Big
really
Ray.
quickly, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just don't understand why you guys don't understand why they put Natty over. I mean, again,
I understand.
This is somebody that again, she hasn't been given a real true break in the business. I mean, in the WWE and Raw, she didn't get a break. She didn't get a break to win that championship.
What do you mean she hasn't gotten a break? She's been on Total Divas forever.
Forget about Total
That's a
Divas.
break.
I'm talking about in the ring, dude. She hasn't been given that title, all right? And this is the opportunity to put that SmackDown version of a title on her. They're not going to have a women's division on SmackDown and not have a title. I mean, that's just the way it is. So the fact of the matter is that they're going to have to build. I think what they're going to do is they're going to actually, number one, turning Natty heel was the best thing they ever did. Natty should have been heel 2 years ago with Cesaro and freaking Tyson Kidd, but that's a story for another day. I'm just saying right now I think it's smart for them to build that women's division around their best wrestler. They're probably their biggest leader, and that's Natty. And I'm serious. That's my opinion, but I think that's the truth.
All right. No, I mean, valid point.
By the way, that Truth Martini book, I think Billy Ray Valentine, you can probably order it at the website I sent you.
Book of Truth. It changed my life.
Book of Truth. New York Times best-selling author. Just saying. Moving on. Wait, we're talking about Battleground, right? Yeah, Battleground. Holy cow.
Why not?
Battleground Intercontinental Championship. Now, Ray, I'm actually going to lean heavy on you this one because I need some assistance with this one because I need to know. I don't know technically what the finish was.
I know what the finish was.
Okay, well, so let me get to the whole little description part of it for those of you who missed it watching us live right now. 151 of you guys killing it right now. 100 likes on the video. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support here on One Wrestling. So much appreciated, much love. So basically, Darren Young, Miz, solid technical matchup between the two. I actually really enjoyed this matchup. There was, Bob Backlund. Who doesn't love Bob Backlund? Crossface chicken wing and all that fun. The finish was very interesting to me, and I actually really enjoyed the finish. Essentially what happened was Maurice and Bob Backlund argued at ringside. Let me just make sure I got my notes here correctly here. They did argue at ringside. Yes, I got that correct. With Maurice slapping Bob Backlund, if I'm not mistaken. And
she slapped Bob Backlund, and then she made believe that Bob Backlund hit her.
Yes.
That's why
that's the part I would want to make sure of. She made believe that Bob Backlund hit her. Miz confronts Bob Backlund, shoves Backlund, which prompts Darren Young to run outside the ring and put him into the crossface chicken wing, and he supposedly tapped, but it was outside the ring. Ray, what's the official result of this matchup? Is it a no contest? Obviously Miz retains the Intercontinental Championship, but was it a no contest? What was the deal?
All right, so basically,
Mr. After Cup winner here.
I have such an itch in my ear. Anyway, officially, the outcome was a double disqualification. I believe WWE.com also alluded to it being a double disqualification. Okay. I reached out to Nick Hausman over WrestleZone.com. I guess it was a little mistake. Nick Hausman, by the way, he thought that finish was garbage. He hated the finish.
I liked the finish.
I liked the finish also, but that's again a story for another day. Like Bill Schuyler was saying, "Damn, it's freaking itchy here." Anyway, that's a little inside joke for me and somebody who's watching. No, it's an inside joke for me and a very special person who's watching right now. So
that you're not making your case any better by saying that.
Anyway, shut up. But listen, here's the deal. It's a double disqualification, and I enjoyed the entire match. I enjoyed Bob Backlund screaming like an animal, ripping off his own shirt. I thought Bob Backlund was going to tear the Miz a new a-hole.
Yes.
I thought he was going to take him, pick him up, and give him a freaking German suplex. That's what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Darren Young, man, man, I'm starting to wonder if they're going to put the IC title on Darren Young. Or maybe they were going to wait for that for a bigger platform like SummerSlam. When is SummerSlam? How far are we away from SummerSlam?
I believe we're approximately 4 weeks away, if I'm not mistaken.
August 21st.
All right, I think they can push this this little feud between the Miz. I mean, the Miz, the Hollywood star with the beautiful French wife who is so sexy, and she comes in and she kisses the Miz on the mouth, which is absolutely disgusting to me. And the fact is that he is going against this common man, not like the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes type common man, but just the regular guy who has a good coach who's pushing him to be great again. And I just wanted to know, guys, besides not having a dilapidated boat, is Darren Young great again?
I'll throw it over to Billy Ray. Is Darren Young great again?
Well, when was Darren Young great in the first place is my question.
Oh, he was great.
I don't know if he was ever great. And this finish, I did not like the finish at all. You know why? Because they didn't explain anything. It just happened, and we were left to our own devices to try to figure out what happened. The match was it was all right, but it's the Miz. The Miz is as good as whoever he's wrestling, and I don't want to knock Darren Young. Maybe Backlund can make him great again, but this wasn't a great match.
All right, and Mr. Professor, is Darren Young great again?
Well, he was great in the Nexus, and he was great as a primetime player. So
Right.
So there's room for him to be great again for a third time, and Bob Backlund's the perfect guy to do it. But I have a question. If the chat can confirm it, but isn't Darren Young and Bob Backlund on Raw? So he can't have a continuing feud with
Darren Young
Miz.
and Bob Backlund are on SmackDown.
Oh, they're on SmackDown. Oh, okay, so
I'm sorry.
No, they're on Raw.
I got that all wrong.
Yeah.
You're right. Darren Young and Bob Backlund are indeed on Raw. I'm sorry.
Okay, so they can't continue this feud with the Miz. So then he might have to chase after that U.S. title. Then that's how great he's going to be. He's going to be a U.S. champion.
There is a possibility we might do some role reversals where Darren Young goes after the U.S. title and Zack Ryder maybe after the Intercontinental against The Miz again. A little redemption from WrestleMania. Who knows? We might see it. We want to know your thoughts again, guys, down in the comment or tweet us live or tweet us whenever, basically. It doesn't matter whenever you guys tweet us. All our Twitter and all our social media links, again, are down in the description box below. And while you're down there, subscribe and like to everything One Wrestling video because we got some awesome content coming your way, guys. If you haven't seen the last video, last major video we did, we've got all sorts of content here. We did the draft live reactions with some of the members here of the One Wrestling family, including Bill Apter at the beginning. We've done episodes of Big Slam. We did predictions for Battleground. We did Sunday Segue. There's so much content here on One Wrestling. We know you guys are going to love it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button to show your love and support for all of us that we do here at the One Wrestling, for you guys, the awesome wrestling fans.
Hey, Connor, really quickly, man.
Yes, sir. Oop, did I lose you there? Did we lose Ray?
Yeah, you might have lost him, man.
I'm back.
Okay, sorry. Technical difficulty.
I just wanted to know really quickly if you guys has anyone really taken time out to watch the Sunday Segue, because those guys are amazing.
Yes, those I did. Yeah. I was actually starting to watch the last episode, but I was unable to finish it. But I love what I saw so far.
Yeah, they broke down day 1, day 2, and day 3 of the G1. I saw the whole thing. Big shout outs to KINNY, KILLA, and my man Tom Brady.
Listen, all I'm saying is that, guys, let's be real. What do you do on Sundays? You stay home. Maybe you mow the lawn. Maybe you clean the pool. Maybe you take your kids out to the park. You just sit in a park bench. Hey, guys, go to OneWrestling.com. Check out the Sunday Segue. If you guys are real wrestling, I'm talking about real wrestling fans, not some fake jobbers. If you're real wrestling fans, check these guys out. Like I said, these guys cover everything from Japan, the Indies, so on and so forth. And they talk some WWE. And they also have an amazing podcast. And sometimes our Raw correspondent, FAMEBLACK, joins them on the podcast. So check that out. So I just wanted to give them a quick plug. KINNY, KILLA, Tom Brady, we love you, brother.
Matt, shout out to Sunday Segue again. Make sure you check out all their stuff. Their Twitter handles and everything are also down in the description box as well, and so make sure you guys check them out. We were moving into the last six-man tag team match of the evening: John Cena and Enzo and Cass against the Club. First and foremost, that opening promo with Enzo and Cass with the tips and advice, they nail it every time. That was just it was one-liners for the sake of one-liners. I was thoroughly entertained. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I laughed. It was just fantastic. This matchup was absolute chaos, and I loved everything about it. And the funny thing about this is that this is the first high-profile match we've seen the club in as far as like a six-man tag, and they looked like $1 million here, despite the fact that John Cena hit a beautiful AA that AJ Styles made look like it was, for lack of a better term, phenomenal, to get the pinfall victory for John Cena, Enzo, and Cass. That the match was just a beautiful piece of artwork just right in front of me. I'd argue to say it was match of the night because, again, Owens and Zayn did such an amazing job one-on-one, but this was a very close second for me for numerous reasons. I'm going to throw it to Professor first. This was just entertaining. It was great psychology. It was just great in-ring work. I thought this matchup had a lot of great things going for it.
You want to talk about pop of the night with like Bailey in the beginning, and then the match of the night with Zayn and Owens. You want to talk pop of the night, and you could say a match of the night candidate all in one with Enzo in the beginning with that promo and the how you doings. And I'm very entertained with those two. Future tag team champions, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time. And right. You're right, Connor. It was a great match. It was a train wreck all around, going outside the ring. And Kaz and Enzo, they held their own in the ring too. Not only with the talking, but in the ring too. I was very impressed with them.
It was just nuts. It was crazy, but I loved everything about it. Billy Ray, are you on the same line with this one? I mean, this is just like they threw everything in. I'm pretty sure I saw the kitchen sink in there somewhere.
It was a good match. Couple of things I do want to say is that I've had an ongoing argument with Big Ray about this, and I tell him all the time, Big Ray, when you eat a banana, do not look anyone in the eyes when you're eating a banana. And you know what? I'm glad Enzo, solidified that for me. Maybe you'll take his advice. You never took mine. Second, AJ Styles got pinned clean. A-Track Brown. AJ Styles got pinned clean by John Cena. A-Track Brown. That's all I got to say about that.
Big Ray. Any closing thoughts on this this epic six-man tag team matchup? Last time we'll see these guys get teamed up again, but man, what a thrill ride!
Well, apparently we got the Mount Rushmore of certified G's. Got a couple of haters. But other than that, my freaking ear keeps itching. But anyway, a couple of haters. But anyway, listen, this was awesome. An awesome match. I really, really did love when Enzo and Cass are in the ring. Number one, Enzo Amore. All right, there's so much. I'm going everywhere. Let me calm down. Okay. When Enzo Amore gets into the ring, I get hyped. I loved the part when it's the club, when it's Luke Gallows and it's Machine Gun Carl Anderson standing in the corner, and you see the scraggly bird-looking Enzo Amore standing in the corner, and he makes his chest real big and he looks real tough at them, and he just goes at them, man. The guy has heart, and I love that tag team, and unfortunately the tag team's gonna break up eventually. But the fact is that, for what it is now, and yes, you're right. They did pin John Cena clean. I mean, they pinned AJ Styles clean again, which kind of sucked for me. I don't know how you felt about that, Billy Ray, guys, but I didn't like. I think they should have had maybe Carl Anderson take the pin, or maybe even Luke Gallows. I mean, to have John pin AJ with that second. I don't care if it's from the top rope. I don't care if it's from the top of a cage that he does the AA. I don't want to see AJ Styles getting pinned again.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Yeah,
Connor?
go for it.
Listen, man, this was by design. Okay, of course it's by design. It's scripted, but John Cena had to get the clean pin on AJ Styles. It had to happen. It's the way it was going to go down. It's in the cards. If you read the stars, if you cracked open a fortune cookie, you saw that John Cena was going to do this. Just the way it is. It is right. The WWE we're watching.
I mean, we are going to be leading into SummerSlam and the high, expectations that we will probably see the round 3 between AJ versus John. So to Billy Ray's point, you can see the writing on the wall as far as why they decided to have John Cena cleanly pin AJ Styles. But regardless, just an absolute crazy, amazing matchup, and we definitely recommend it. We want to know your thoughts, guys, as well, too, again, in the chat or down in the comment section below. We got two last parts here of the pay-per-view. Of course, we had the highlight reel featuring Randy Orton, which basically did a lot of hype for the anticipated matchup between him versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which should be an intriguing matchup, to say the least. I know I'm looking forward to it, that's for sure. Interesting, there was a couple of notes and a couple of things that Randy Orton said that I thought were a little caught off guard. I didn't expect those to be said, and I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm really interested in this matchup, and I haven't even seen Brock Lesnar on TV yet. Professor, are you interested in seeing Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton a little bit more after highlight reel?
I'm going to take my rented car, and I'm going to pass by Suplex City, and I'm going to go down to Viperville. You know why? Because Viperville is a clean town. You get what I'm saying? Okay. But anyway, I'm not really interested in this match. I'm sorry, because it's still the Beast. It's still Brock Lesnar. It's still Suplex City. It's still 20 suplexes that's gonna happen, and I don't care how he's gonna do maybe one RKO, maybe two. It doesn't matter. It's still Brock Lesnar, and I'm not hyped for any match that I'm gonna see with just plain old suplexes. I'm sorry.
All right, fair enough. I mean, Billy Ray, I think Brock and Orton are going to do a decent attraction at SummerSlam. I mean, what do you think?
I'm not interested. I am really not interested. But then again, I'm not very interested in Randy Orton. I was never a big fan. That being said, Randy Orton came and brought it tonight, man. He's not very charismatic on the mic, at least that's my opinion. He's great in the ring. He's not very good on the mic. He was excellent on the mic tonight, man. He went in. Chris Jericho, on the other hand, is the greatest heel the WWE has right now. He's on another level. The guy is so good. You monkeys, you stupid idiots. I love
Drink it in. Drink it in. Drink it on all of Jericho.
And he kind of turned into a semi-psychedelic hipster hippie, because he dresses like a hipster, but he talks like a hippie. He's like, drink it in, man. It's so cool.
So good.
So good. But Randy Orton, man, he delivered a couple of really good lines. He sounded confident on the mic. But do I want to see him against Brock Lesnar? No, I don't, man. I really don't have I really don't want to see it.
All right. Big Ray, after the highlight reel, are you hyped for Lesnar and Orton at SummerSlam in 4 weeks?
I got to be honest. I kind of am. And it's just because it's a match that we haven't seen in a long time. And when Randy Orton faced Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton was still a babyface. Am I correct?
I believe so, yeah.
He was originally a babyface coming in. That was before the shoulder injury that took him out, and he came back as a heel. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
That's a really long time ago. Randy
2002.
Orton, yeah, and the legend of Brock Lesnar. I mean, him being the Beast incarnate, the legend of Brock Lesnar, facing the legend killer. Dude, for me, I think it's pretty cool. Now, yes, I'm gonna agree with you guys that Chris Jericho is just the absolute best thing going, man. One of the best things going in professional wrestling right now as we speak. He is hilarious. He is funny. He is smart. He is quick. I loved the way they ended the segment, where you thought for a second that Randy Orton was just like, get out of here, you idiot. After he faked the RKO. And then he hit him with the RKO out of nowhere. I love Chris Jericho just baiting him. You gonna hit it now? You gonna hit it now? What about now? How about now? Now? How about now? He walks away and he comes back. Now? Loved it. Very well done. And I never understood. Randy Orton, I don't think has ever really changed much on the mic. I think he's not horrible. I never saw him as bad on the mic, Billy Ray Valentine. I don't know where you come off with feeling that.
He was never exciting. He was never.
Exciting.
It's not like when you think of Randy Orton, you think of, oh, what an excellent promo. A lot of times Randy Orton was just plain boring. That's why people didn't want to see Randy Orton versus John Cena all the time. It wasn't compelling anymore. Like maybe the first time it was, but Randy Orton's never been known for his mic work, man. It's always been the in-ring, and he has to have a good dancing partner. Sorry.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, regarding that, Randy Orton's character, he's supposed to be understated when talking. He's the Viper. He doesn't have to talk loud. He talks quietly. He talks monotone. He tells you that you better step back before he strikes. That type of thing. So I understand why he may talk like that. Again, we saw a different side of Randy Orton tonight. Anyway, long story short, I thought this was a really well done segment. Even if it didn't get you hyped for Brock Lesnar, I thought it got you hyped to see Randy Orton back.
All right, good points. Sorry, bear with me. I'm having a little technical trouble. There we go. No, I mean,
if Randy Orton talked like Jake the Snake Roberts, then maybe I get excited. But he doesn't.
Yeah, good point.
Good point. All right, we're going to move on to the main event, but once again, guys, I'm going to use this time to shamelessly plug ourselves for all our social media. Why not? This is the time to do so. Guys, thank you so much for all the support you guys are getting us through the stream. We're hitting around the 150 viewers mark live with us, so this is a huge, huge deal for us. So thank you guys for tuning in to listening to the full WWE Battleground 2016 full results and review here on this show, right here on One Wrestling Video. Make sure if you guys haven't done so already, subscribe right here to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe and the like button, and you can find all our social media again down in the description box below. We appreciate all the love and support you guys have given us as we move on now to the main event, the triple threat match between the three former Shield members, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins representing Monday Night Raw, and Dean Ambrose representing, I don't know why I said that way, representing Tuesday Night SmackDown Live, the better brand. But this match was just, I'm trying not to sound repetitive here, but I mean, seriously, this matchup was absolutely crazy. I think it was everything that we really expected it to be, a lot of crazy interaction. Triple threat matches by design are really hard to pull off from a psychological standpoint. There were a lot of interesting moments, especially such as moments where Dean and Seth teamed up to take out Roman Reigns together. There were moments where all three men were hitting each other's finishers on each other and just absolutely laid each other out. You had, of course, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Mick Foley, and Daniel Bryan all at ringside. So I thought for sure we were going to see some sort of crazy interference or some sort of, I can't say disqualification because in a triple threat there is no disqualification, but I was expecting some sort of shenanigans, let's just say, to happen, and surprisingly nothing happened. And Dean Ambrose successfully retaining the WWE Championship for SmackDown, which to me, I put all my money on Seth Rollins, and I know I'm the SmackDown correspondent here in One Wrestling, but I could have sworn that Seth Rollins was going to walk out champion. But to be honest, I'm very happy that my boy Dean Ambrose keeps the gold on the blue brand. I'll throw it over to Billy Ray this time. I mean, we were kind of chit-chatting before we hopped on here watching the main event together. This match was just like rapid fire, very similar to the six-man tag. The overall thoughts, I'll be honest, I was very surprised that Dean walked out as champion.
Agent 52K in the chat room just said, why do they keep putting Roman Reigns in triple threat matches? Well, it's protection. He needs to be protected. Even though he's shown if he's put in the ring with the right person, he can hold his own on a one-on-one match. This match was pretty good, and I was pretty happy that Dean Ambrose won, even though I still think they are not fully committed to Dean Ambrose at this spot. I think they still wish that it's Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, or who knows who's going to. Don't be surprised if you see John Cena taking that title back soon. Dean Ambrose is a transitional champion. They don't see him as the man. But you know what? I'll take it. Clean win tonight for Dean Ambrose, and I was happy to see it. And I predicted that, and Big Ray didn't.
You jerk.
All right, well, before shots get fired, I want to throw it over to the Professor first. Professor, Dean Ambrose, short-term champion, long-term champion, were you happy to see him beat the other members of the Shield tonight?
Well, first, Connor, I'd like to do a shameless plug with the worst review we did on One Wrestling with myself, Billy Ray, and A-Track Brown. Billy Ray eloquently talked about Dean Ambrose and what was going to happen. So you know what? Billy Ray is a great fortune teller, number one. And besides this match, it was a great match. All three of them worked together. A lot of fluidity there. I like the stuff outside of the ring with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins doing the powerbomb on the Spanish announce table. That was a great spot for me. I wanted Seth Rollins to win. I wanted that belt on Monday Night Raw for shameless reasons via the After Cup myself, but it didn't happen. Is Dean Ambrose a short-term champion, a transitional champion? Only time will tell. Maybe the ratings will tell on SmackDown. We'll see.
All right, we'll have to see indeed. I'll throw it over lastly to Big Ray. Ray, Dean champion the match. I mean, what do you think this is going to happen as far as the future goes for WWE as Dean is the champion? Do you think he's going to keep it to SummerSlam and beyond, or do you think you're thinking short-term?
Well, thank you for asking. AJ. I'm sorry. So with the whole club thing. Wow. Number one, I could have sworn that WWE was going to put the belt back on Roman Reigns just to say, you know what, stick it. We want this guy as our champion. I was shocked. I was actually shocked that they didn't put it on Seth Rollins. I'm even more shocked that they kept it on Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose is great. I love him. But honestly, I think Seth Rollins should have won that match tonight. I think the belt should be on Seth Rollins right now. I think Seth Rollins is the best heel in professional wrestling right now as we speak. What was your question exactly again?
I was just saying, like, do you think Dean's going to be the short-term champion? Do you think this is a long-term plan? What do you think is going to be in the future for the title?
I think Dean Ambrose is going to be the champion until the WWE kind of their Plan B comes into fruition, or Plan C, if that makes any sense. Because Plan A was Roman, that didn't work. Plan B was Seth, but he was hurt. So Plan C is Dean, and apparently
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman will be the next WWE champion. No, I don't know, dude. I honestly don't know. That's a great question. I don't see Dean Ambrose as a long-term champion. I see him as a transitional champion. I think he's been doing fine as a champion, not great, because honestly, there's something about Dean Ambrose holding that title over his shoulder, walking around with it like it's a book bag, that just doesn't lend prestige to that title. I know I'm sounding old school and stupid right now, but that's just me. I just remember when Ric Flair. Let me go back over here 1 second. All right, you see the NWA title here?
My favorite belt.
All right, check this out. I'm gonna show you guys something. When Ric Flair used to walk around with his belt, he used to walk around with it like this. You see this?
Right. Yep. The old school folding it up.
He walked around with it like this. He never threw it over his shoulder or dragged it alongside of him. He always kept it here. It was prestigious. It was important. It was something that made you know that this championship belt, that the wrestler didn't make the belt made the wrestler, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
So for me, to see Dean Ambrose walk around with that title like it's like I said, like it's a Jansport bag and you're going to high school, it just doesn't do it for me. So to answer your question, no. I don't think Dean Ambrose is a long-term champion. I believe he is a transitional champion, and I believe that eventually that belt, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, you're going to learn to love it. It's going to go around the waist of Roman Reigns. And I love when Roman Reigns came out. I love it. I love it when he came out and he got the biggest pop of the night. Pop of booze. But my God, I swear, I don't think I've ever heard anyone boo louder for anyone else. Have you guys?
Not recent memory, no. Not in recent memory. Interesting thoughts overall on the triple threat. So I'm curious to see if they do put the belt back on Roman Reigns. I wouldn't certainly mind it. I wouldn't. It just with everything that happened within the last 30 days, I'm very curious myself to see what exactly they're going to do. Okay, we're at the tail end of this entire results and review, guys. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Connor, hold on 1 second, Billy Ray. You had to say something, buddy?
Oh yeah, I was just going to trash Roman Reigns. Can I do that?
Keep it clean.
Come on, really? Anyway, check it out. Listen, I think this was the worst indictment on Roman Reigns. It's over. Okay, don't put the world title back on him as a face. Don't do it. Don't do it. He cannot do it. He can't get over. He can't relate with the fans. He's unrelatable, and he does not have the charisma to get it over. That's just my opinion.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, though?
It's Roman Reigns' fault. It's not his fault by himself. I'll give you that. He was booked badly, a bunch of other stuff. But Roman Reigns is just not that dude for the 8,000th time. Turn him into a heel.
He's the guy, not the dude.
Yeah, you're right. He's not the dude. He's the guy, and the guy is not pulling it off. Turn him heel now. Now. I mean, you should have turned him heel a long time ago, and he would have gotten over.
Now? How about now? Now?
Now, like Jericho.
Yeah, now? How about now? You do it now? Turn him heel now.
If you turn him heel, maybe. I mean, he's getting booed anyway, right? So, I mean, if he's going to get booed, at least get some heel heat out of it. That's what I'm saying.
Bam. All right.
And we'll still hate him as a heel. We'll overanalyze him. That's what we as fans have done. We've overanalyzed him as a face, and we'll overanalyze him as a heel.
I will definitely do that.
Well,
Yeah,
the
so
best is still yet to come, I'm sure. But guys, we're going to wrap up here at the quick tail end of this entire review and results show for OneWrestling.com and One Wrestling Video here on YouTube. Again, if you guys haven't done so already, subscribe and like down below. And again, our entire social media is also in the description box as well, too. I'm going to do a rapid fire round real quick with each one of my lovely cohorts here on this panel. And I just want to ask you guys real quick results, or real quick thoughts on the pay-per-view overall, yay or nay, and your favorite match. I'll start with the Professor first. Professor, overall quick thoughts on the pay-per-view from top to bottom, just general, and of course your favorite match.
I give the pay-per-view 8 out of 10. Match of the night, Zayn against Owens. And you know what? After Cup-wise, I had a bad night, but it's okay. I'll rebound next month on SummerSlam.
All right, Billy Ray Valentine, you're up.
Man, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. Even the matches that weren't that good, I still enjoyed them. So I had fun watching the pay-per-view, and if you're paying $10 for that, it's well worth the money. So I'm with it. It was a good showing.
Gotcha. Big Ray, here to stay.
Yes, sir. I'm going to also give it an 8. I agree with the Professor. I thought this was a really good pay-per-view. Enjoyed every single match. And like Billy Ray Valentine said, even the matches that weren't that great were good. And I just thought it was an excellent, a very, very well done pay-per-view. My favorite match of the night were the Wyatts versus the New Day.
Ooh, a different little change of pace there.
Dude,
okay.
That match stole the night for me.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I'm kind of going with the majority here. Unfortunately, Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn, but I will agree with both Ray and Professor. 8 out of 10 for me. But of course, we want to hear your guys' thoughts. What did you guys think of Battleground overall? Your favorite matchup, and what did you guys think of the entire pay-per-view? We want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below, or hit us up on the various Twitter, and make sure you follow the entire One Wrestling family over at One Wrestling on Twitter. Of course, the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Apter1Wrestling. I'm gonna make sure, and hopefully I get all these Twitter handles right, because there's a lot of them. You can follow Big Ray at Big Ray Show, and make sure you check out his wrestling podcast over on shoutengine.com. Again, the link is in the description. Go give it some love, go give it some praise, because trust me, it is indeed well worth it. Make sure you follow Billy Ray Valentine at OB1 You Know Me, and of course, also follow the Professor at ProfPW Hustle over on Twitter, and give him much love and praise over there. Of course, you can follow myself, Connor, a.k.a. OKAYFABE. Follow me on Twitter at OKAYFABE, and check out my YouTube channel, where I also do a couple of wrestling talking and goodies and such. Again, down in the description box below. If you guys haven't done so already, subscribe to One Wrestling Video and like this video at the same time. You might as well. It's down there. It's free. Why not? It's that easy to do. You guys can see all this amazing content that we have in store for you guys. You got FAMEBLACK, your Raw correspondent. You got yours truly, your SmackDown correspondent. You've got Bill SCHUYLER as your NXT and TNA correspondent. Of course, you've got Big Slam Nation and After Chat videos. All this amazing stuff coming your way if you just hit the subscribe button. It's just that easy. It's that easy. Why not just do it? You're already here. Thank you guys again for watching. Appreciate the continued love and support here at One Wrestling. And to quote the legendary Bill Apter as we wrap things up here, we will see you at the matches.
At the matches.